Hello everyone. To begin your journey with a very interesting subject of management, I, Dr. Rasmeet Kaur Malhi, Assistant Professor, Department of Management from the Bhopal School of Social Sciences, is here to introduce you to organizational behavior. Today, in this video, we will talk about what is organizational behavior, its features, elements, levels, nature and scope of OB, contributing disciplines to OB, models, evolution or historical developments of OB, and challenges for OB. Before we start with what actually is organizational behavior, let's understand who is a manager and what managers do. An individual who achieves goals through other people is known as a manager. He has various managerial activities to perform, such as to make decisions, to allocate resources, and to direct activities to others to attain goals. He works in an organization which is a consciously coordinated social unit which is composed of two or more people that functions on a regular basis to achieve common goals or set of goals. There are certain functions of management which we have already studied, such as planning, organizing, leadership, and controlling. Now let's begin with what is actually organizational behavior, which is also commonly known as OB. Organizational behavior provides a set of tools which allows people to understand, analyze, and describe behavior in the organization. It helps the managers to improve, enhance, or change the work behaviors so that the individual, groups, and the whole organization can achieve their goals. It is concerned with understanding, predicting, and controlling human behavior in the organization. The study of organization and of collection of people within them together comprises the field of OB. It is a field of study that investigates the impact that individual, groups, and structure have on behavior within the organization for the purpose of applying such knowledge towards improving the organization effectiveness. As organizations are social system and is a combination of humanity and technology, OB is the study and application of knowledge about how people act within the organization. It is a human tool for human benefit. Now let's discuss what are the features of organizational behavior. Keeping it very crisp, the first one is it is the study of human behavior in organization. It gives you the knowledge of understanding human behavior which helps in improving organizational effectiveness and efficiency. Now let's come to what are the elements of organizational behavior. A complex set of forces affects the nature of organization today. When people join the organization to achieve the goals or some certain set of goals, some kind of structure is required. They use machinery, gadgets, and technology to achieve the organizational goal. At the same time, they are influenced by the external environment. So if I keep it very crisp, it means the elements of OB are people, structure, technology, and environment. Moving on to levels of organizational behavior. Basically, there are three levels of organizational behavior. They are individual level, group level, and organizational level. Starting with the first one, that is individual level. Individual level means individual's perception, their personality, their performance, attitude, and values. Moving to the group level, it covers group performance, cross-functional partnerships, conflict management, leadership, power, and politics. Whereas moving to the organizational level, it covers culture, change management, customer satisfaction and retention. Now coming to what is nature of OB. Let's understand the first very important thing, that OB is a field of study and not discipline. It is considered as an interdisciplinary approach as it has borrowed concepts, theories, models and practices of physical sciences as well as social sciences. It is an applied science that takes a systematic approach to understand the reason behind the behavior. It is normative and value centered. It is humanistic and optimistic in nature. It orients towards achievement of organizational objectives. So, to conclude, I can say it is a total system approach. Let's move on to what is the scope of OB. As I just said, it is total system approach and it covers all the three levels, that is individual, group and organization. The scope of OB covers impact of personality on performance, employee motivation, leadership, how to create effective teams and groups, study of different organizational structures, individual behavior, attitude, learning, their perception, design and development of effective organization, job design, etc. Let's talk about the contributing disciplines to the OB field. OB is a subject where there are contribution of various fields such as psychology, sociology, social psychology, anthropology, political science and economics. To begin with, the first one, that is psychology. It is how individuals behave in response to a stimulus. It is a science that seeks to measure, explain and sometimes change the behavior of humans. The areas which are covered in psychology are learning, motivation, perception, emotions, personality, job satisfaction, work stress, but all at individual level. Coming to the second one, that is sociology. It means how individuals relate to groups and to each other. The third discipline is social psychology. Social psychology means how individuals and organization perceive conflict, threats and undergo stress. Social psychology is an area within psychology which blends the concepts of psychology and sociology and that focuses on the influence of people on one another. The areas which are covered under social psychology are behavioral change, attitudinal change, communication, group process and group decision making. Now, if you can relate to it, we are speaking about group level. Coming to the next one, that is anthropology. The study of societies to learn about human beings and their activities is known as anthropology. It covers comparative values, comparative attitudes, cross-cultural analysis, organizational culture and organizational environment. So, if I say this is the organizational level which we are speaking about. Coming to the fifth discipline is political science. Political science helps to understand power, authority and corporate politics. It is the study of the behavior of individuals and groups within a political environment. The areas which are covered under political science are conflict, power, interorganizational politics, etc. Coming to the last discipline, that is economics. Appreciating monetary and non-monetary incentives to employees so that they are motivated to achieve organizational goals more effectively and efficiently is the role of economics. I hope you are able to understand the different disciplines which contribute in the field of OB. Now, let's talk about what are the different models of OB. The models of OB can be broadly classified as an autocratic model, custodial model, supportive model and collegial model. These models I would explain you with the help of basis of differences. Taking the first basis, that is what does this model depends on. The autocratic model depends on power, whereas the custodial model depends on economic resources. When I speak about a supportive model, it depends on leadership, and the collegial model depends on partnership. Taking the second basis, that what is the managerial orientation of these models. Again, starting with autocratic model. In autocratic model, the managerial orientation is authority. Custodial model, the managerial orientation is money. Whereas for the supportive model, the orientation is support, and for the last, that is the collegial model, the managerial orientation is teamwork. The third basis, that is employee orientation. Under autocratic model, the orientation of employees is obedience, whereas in custodial model, the orientation is security. Coming to the third model, that is supportive model, in this the employee orientation is job performance, whereas for the last one, that is the collegial model, the employee orientation is responsibility. Let's come to the fourth basis, that is employee's psychological result. Under the autocratic model, the psychological result is dependence on boss. When I speak about a custodial model, it is dependent on organization. In the supportive model, the employee's psychological result is based on participation, whereas in the collegial model, the employee's psychological result depends on self-discipline. Coming to the fifth basis of difference, that is employees' needs are met. Under the autocratic model, only the subsistence, or which we call the primary needs of the employees, are met, whereas in the custodial model, maintenance needs of the employees are met. Under supportive model, higher order or higher rank needs of the employees are met, and in the collegial model, the self-actualization needs of an employee is met. Coming to the last basis of difference, that is the performance result. Under autocratic model, the result is very minimum. In custodial, it is a passive cooperation from the side of employees. Under supportive model, the performance result is that the employees are awakened for their drives. And in the collegial model, the performance result is that the moderate enthusiasm is there. Now, we will talk about what is the evolution or historical developments of OB. In this, we will talk about those famous people, those who have contributed in this field. We will begin with the first one, that is Robert Owen. In the year 1800, Robert Owen, who is also known as father of personnel management, he was a young factory owner who was first to emphasize the human needs of employees and refused to employ children. He taught the workers how to improve the working conditions. In the year 1835, Andrew Urey, who is also the contributor in the philosophy of manufacturer, gave emphasis on the value of human factor in manufacturing. He provided welfare facilities to workers. J.N. Tata in 1886 instituted a pension fund, and 1895 began to pay the accident compensation. In the year 1916, Henry Fayol, who is the father of administrative management, came up with principles of governing behavior and management quality. From 1920 to 1930, Alton Mayo conducted certain set of experiments which were very popularly known as Hawthorne's experiment, which were conducted in the Howard University. The Hawthorne experiments have been segmented in the following categories: the illumination experiment from 1924 to 1927, relay room experiment from 1927 to 1932, bank wiring room experiment from 1931 to 1932, and the last one, which was mass interview program, which was conducted from the year 1928 to 1930. In the year 1954, Abraham H. Maslow came up with the need hierarchy motivation model. 1960, Douglas MacGregor came up with the theory X and theory Y on the managerial styles. In 1960, Henry Mintzberg came up with different type of managerial roles such as interpersonal, informational and decision making. From 1909 to 2005, Peter Drucker, who was also known as father of modern management, came up with the concept of change. How to bring best out of people through innovation and entrepreneurship was the thought process of this person. The discipline of OB came to be recognized as a field of study around 1950. OB studies not only human behavior within the parameters of the organization, but also the group dynamics. OB studies the external environment which influences the human behavior within the organization. That is why OB takes cognizance of TQM, TPM, BPR, or for that matter any new concept or originating in the external environment. Let's come to the last topic, that is challenges for OB. The rise of global business with culturally diverse workforce and rapid advances in technology has rising expectation of people in general. There are certain challenges which are faced at different levels in the organization, such as at the individual level, at the group level and at the organization level. If I speak about the individual level, the challenges which are faced are job satisfaction, empowerment, etc. Coming to the group level, the challenges which are faced by the managers are working with others and workforce diversity. Whereas coming to the organizational level, the challenges which are faced by the managers are productivity, developing effective employees, global competition and managing in the global village. So with this we come to end of this video. I hope I was able to make you understand the basic concept of organizational behavior. We will be meeting soon with a new topic of the same subject. Thank you for watching.